What is a stuffed taco without grated cheese? Incomplete. In this video, you'll learn how to crochet the grated cheese edging. Cheese fringe is easy to make. Just work one piece at a time. The companion pattern includes 4 fringe variations you can arrange randomly for texture and variety. Once you get the gist, you may want to improvise your own lengths and shapes to make the taco as cheesy as you like. These varied pieces make the cheese look as if it was tossed on naturally. You can find the companion pattern for the stuffed taco blanket and pillow linked in the description below. With the back side of the blanket facing you, insert your hook at the beginning of the curve along the taco edge and pull up a loop. Chain 1 with both strands and then pull the end through to help secure the end. This will be woven in later. For the first cheese fringe, we're going to chain 5 because I want a short piece of grated cheese in this little crevice where there's a lot of stuff going on. Then I'm going to roll the chain over. You're always going to roll the chain over and work under the third loop on the back for all these fringe variations. And you're going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook and in each of the chains, all the way to the base. We're at the base, so I'm going to slip stitch into that one too. Pull it tightly. Now, chain 3 to create a bridging chain. The bridging chain acts as a spacer between the fringe. Lay the bridging chain along the taco edge and slip stitch in the edge where it ends. This will be about 1/2 inch further along the edge. Then begin the next cheese fringe. For this variation, we will chain 9 to create a longer piece of fringe. Roll the chain over and slip stitch into the back loop of the second chain from the hook, and then in each chain all the way down to the base. Now it's a good practice to put your hook in and pull through 2 loops at the same time. You can do it with 2 actions, but that takes up more time and effort. It's better to practice putting it in, pinching down right below, and just boop, pulling it through. Boop. I like the sound effect. Somehow it makes me feel better. And then I'm going to go right into the base of this one too. Boop. Chain 3 to form the next bridging chain. Lay it along the edge and slip stitch into the edge where it ends. Now we will add some shape to the fringe. So chain 10, roll the chain over and slip stitch in the second chain from the hook and in each of the next 3 chains. At this point, we will chain 5 more. Roll this chain over and slip stitch in the second chain from the hook and in each chain all the way to the base. This creates a piece of cheese fringe that looks like 2 got stuck together. How fun! 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip over and get a little bit in here and slip stitch there. That's where my next one is going to be. So you can see it's randomly made. So I have a short one, I have a longer one, I have a really long one. Now I can mix it up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll it over in the second chain from the hook. Slip stitch all the way down to the base. Here's my last one. I'm going to slip stitch right there, but I'm going to chain some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to roll it over and slip stitch back down. This one's going to be branched, but at the very base. And that works too. So we have a couple different variations. And you can't make a mistake on this because if you miscount, it doesn't matter. So we're going to slip stitch right into that base, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, jump over a little bit up, half an inch up to the next row, and slip stitch there. So here you have, I think I like that better, you made the first row of cheese. I'll meet you when I get back over here. When you get to the end, work the last fringe exactly like before, but cut the yarn when you return to the base. Pull the end through and weave it in along the bridging chains, as this will be covered by the trim roll. For the 3-curve version, the cheese is worked along the center curve on each side of the blanket. When folded, this keeps the cheese evenly mixed with the other ingredients and uses the taco shell color for the trim roll. We're returning to the beginning of this last row with the wrong side of the blanket facing us. Insert and pull up a loop to join the yarn, and then chain 1. Drop that end off. In the very same space, you can work another single crochet and pull that tight. Now, in front of the fringe, you're going to chain 1. We're going to skip over, insert our hook under the bridging chain and the edge stitch of the taco shell, and work a single crochet tightly. And we're going to work 3 single crochets around those. And you might be moving over a little bit on the edge stitches just to make sure that you cover. But the object of this is to cover the bridging chain. So then we're going to go chain 1 more in front of the next fringe and do the same thing around both the taco shell and the bridging chain. 2, and here's 3. Chain 1, and see, it makes that nice and pronounced, just like that. For the 2-curve version, the cheese and lettuce edging are combined. The first row is cheese, and the second row, worked in lettuce green, separates the cheese pieces while creating a base for the lettuce edging. With the right side of the blanket facing you, and you know that it's the right side because the sour cream is facing you, we're going to insert our hook in the taco shell stitch just to the right of the last piece of cheese, the last fringe of cheese. We're going to pull up a loop, and with a double strand, chain 1. Drop the end off. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. We're going to chain 1 and hold the fringe toward you, and then work 3 single crochets around just the cheese bridge, the yellow bridge of the 3 chains. Chain 1, hold this forward. 1, 2, 3 single crochets around the next bridge, just the bridge, not the taco part. And that is creating a foundation row. It has nothing to do with the lettuce other than it's that same color. Then we will work the 2 rows of lettuce right on top. But we're creating a nice base for it. So here's our cheese on the one side, and we have the lettuce starting on the other. If you want the cheese on both sides of the lettuce, all you have to do is push through any of these, but it's easier to keep them off to one side until you're ready to make that decision. So you can have it like that if you want. You can have cheese on both sides of the lettuce, but what we're doing is we're creating the foundation. When you finish covering the last bridge, chain 1 just like before, but you're going to work 2 single crochets in the next stitch of the taco shell section. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn. Now you are ready to add the lettuce edging. But that's another video. See you then. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!